Example 1 from lesson 88. Use the distance formula to find the distance between 4, -2, and -5, 3. Now, here's the distance formula. Distance equals the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Or x sub 1 minus, I don't remember what I wrote down, but that works. That one's legal. That one doesn't break any rules. All right. Here's the deal about this. What happens when I switch the order of x sub 1 and x sub 2 when I'm subtracting? Changes signs, right? So let's just say, for the sake of argument, just ignore this problem right now. We'll do this problem in a minute. But let's just say I did x sub 2 minus x sub 1, and I got 17. What would x sub 1 minus x sub 2 equal? -17, right? Because that's what happens when you swap the order of subtraction. The sign changes, right? Again, this has nothing to do with these points. Ignore these points. Just pay attention to this. All right? So x sub 2 minus x sub 1 happens to equal a positive number 17. If I swap the order, it's going to be a negative number 17. What am I supposed to do that x sub 2 minus x sub 1? Square. So if I square it, what's 17 squared equal? Positive 289. What's negative 17 squared equal? Positive 289. Same deal here with the slope formula. The order of these things doesn't matter as much as it seems it would matter. Because again, you're squaring these differences, right? Whether it's a positive result or a negative result, the square is going to be a positive result. So, what I do on these, I subtract the x's, I subtract the y's, but I always do big minus small. If I do x2 minus x1, I can do y1 minus y2. If I do x1 minus x2, I can do y2 minus y. It doesn't matter what order each individual one's being done in. On the slope, it matters they're the same. If I do y2 minus y1, I have to do x2 minus x1. On the distance formula, I can do either one in either direction. So if I look at the x's in this problem, the x's are 4 and -5. Which one's bigger? 4, right? 4 is bigger than -5. All right. So when I do the distance formula for that, d equals, and I'm doing this with black. For x, I'm going to do 4 minus -5 squared. And minus negative, like always, is going to be plus. So again, I said the words minus -5. I wrote plus 5 because that's what minus -5 means, right? When I look at the y values are -2 and +3. Which one's bigger?
3.
+3. So on the y values, these two, it's going to be plus because that's what the formula says. If I do big minus small, it's going to be 3 minus -2 squared. Again, minus -2 is what I said, plus 2 is what I wrote down because that's what minus -2 means.
Can you explain that? I'm kind of
What are you having trouble understanding?
Why can't you do, so I'm kind of the big and small, big minus small.
If you do big minus small, you get a positive. If you do big minus small, you get a positive. Whether I get a positive result or a negative result, when I square it, I get a positive every time, right?
Yeah.
If I see a minus sign on my paper, is my brain going to start thinking maybe it should be minus?
Yeah.
So if I can avoid that situation, would it be a good idea?
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing here. So big minus small creates a positive every time. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Again, the rule says to subtract, but I'm telling you the order of subtraction is irrelevant. So if you do big minus small, you see the y's, compare which one's bigger, subtract big minus small. Compare the x's, which one's bigger, do big minus small. Every time. That way you're creating a positive result. All right, so that gets me d equals 9 squared plus 5 squared. I trust you guys can add and square in your head, right? And that's not going to be 16 plus 25. Add it first, 9. 9 squared is 81. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 squared is 25. And once you squared both, you take the square root of the sum, so the square root of 117 is what we get. The last thing you do here is you simplify if possible. Obviously 117 divides by 9. And 9 is 3 times 3. Alright, so square root of 3 times 3 times 13, so 3 times the square root of 13.
I thought it would be 116.
What?
Yeah.
116, jeez. Why do I want it to be 117?
Obviously.
It'd be 106. Jeez.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I was so confused.
Sorry about
I'm
that.
bad.
106.
I don't even
It is
know
obvious
that.
that 9 goes to 117, but it's not so obvious that 81 plus 25 equals
I don't even know
179.
what
106.
I was so worried.
Sorry about that.
Adding.
I don't know. Maybe I gave up adding for Lent. Anyway. All right. 106. And if we look at 106, 106 is 2 times 53. And 53 is prime, so is 2, so it can't break down. So that's the final answer. Sorry about that. If it was 117, it's 3 times the square root of 13, though.
Oh, give me a heart attack.
I just thought I was really bad at math,
Yeah,
so
me
I was
too. I was
like,
like,
I had the number
I can't add
36 in my head
numbers.
instead of 25 is what happened, but I don't know where it came from.
I actually did that. That's how I knew it was wrong, because I did 3 plus 2 equals 6, and then I did it wrong, and I'm like, wait, why would you
I think subconsciously I had 3 times 2 is 6 in my head, and I wrote down the right thing here.
So
Yeah.
that's what I did, but.
Be an excellent, excellent video. I'm going to put that one on my list of best videos ever 2016.